presents this woman to be married to this man?
I do, my wife.
We are gathered together in this place, in the sight of God, to bless the marriage of Cassandra Sorensen and Dylan Wade. This covenant of marriage is one that Cassandra and Dylan enter into with great care and thoughtful intention. The commitment made today is not the beginning of their relationship, but it's the next important step of a lifelong journey of love. They've already traveled a far distance together, and their journey will continue in a new way beginning today. Their promises today will ring for the rest of their earthly lives, and we are honored to be here in this place to witness this important next step in their life together. These commitments made today are sacred. They are holy promises that invite the eternal divine life of self-giving love into our earthly lives. Through the covenant of marriage, we publicly proclaim before God and witnesses our faithfulness and love for one another. No one can do life alone. That's why we're gathered here, and why Dylan and Cassandra chose to stand in front of all of the most meaningful people in their lives and pledge their love to one another forever. By witnessing their commitment, we enter into covenant with them. We become the extras in their love story, pledging to surround them with our love and support as we help them through the rough times so we can all enjoy the good times. Since each of you are a part of this covenant, signified by your presence here today, I ask all of you, as friends and family, to rise as you are able as we offer our blessing. As witnesses here today, we ask that you support and bless the commitment Dylan and Cassandra are making. Will you support them as they journey through this life together, going with them wherever life may take them? Will you celebrate their successes and their achievements, encourage them when times are tough, offer words of wisdom from your own life experience, and shower them with unconditional love and support? If so, please respond by enthusiastically saying, "We will." We will! Yeah! You may be seated. First John 4, 7 through 12 reads, "Beloved, let us love one another, because love is from God. Everyone who loves is born of God and knows God. Whoever does not love does not know God, for God is love. God's love was revealed among us in this way. God sent His only Son into the world so that we might live through Him. Beloved, since God loved us so much, we also ought to love one another. No one has ever seen God. If we love one another, God lives in us, and His love is perfected in us." The Bible tells us that no one has seen the face of God. We're told that after Moses saw God's back, his hair turned white, and his face shined so bright it had to be covered with a veil. Ancient Jewish priests were to have a rope tied around their ankle to be dragged out of the Holy of Holies if they were killed from entering God's presence. The point of these stories is not that God has a literal face or back. The point of these ancient stories is that we humans are not God and are incapable of comprehending God completely. God is holier than we are and transcends the capacities of our senses. However, we are told in 1 John that God lives in us when we love one another. God is love, we are told, and where love is, God is. So, though we cannot see God's physical face, we can, in a sense, see God. We can see God in each other when we love each other. Yes, that includes in moments of romantic passion or during life's high moments like this wedding. God is surely here among us, for there is much love here. But we can also see God in life's more mundane moments, such as when one spouse washes the dishes after cooking dinner because they know their partner is exhausted after a long day. Or when they buy an unexpected gift just because. Or when Dylan, with his allergies, would fall asleep in an apartment with cats that would lie on his face just so he could be near Cassandra. Or when talking with Cassandra, she will change the direction of her conversation just to mention how supportive Dylan is of her dreams and her ambitions. Or when Dylan and Cassandra partner together and sacrifice for each other to achieve a shared goal. All of these are acts of love, and we can see God in each of them if we pay attention. In getting to know Cassandra and Dylan and talking with them in preparation for this wedding, I've come to know people who work hard, love deeply, and enjoy life, especially their friends and family. I've witnessed their deep love firsthand in the looks they share, the jokes they tell, and the support they give each other. And I'm confident that the sacrificial way they love each other is what John had in mind when he wrote that we're supposed to love each other as God loves us. Dylan, I've heard many stories of your antics as a boy, and I've seen you in good times and bad. To my wife, you'll always be, at least a little bit, Dilly Willy. The boy who loved food, video games, and martial arts. To your friends, you'll always be a faithful companion and someone who can be counted on for a good time at a party. But to Cassandra, you'll be much more. You join her in becoming one. You're now the most important person in her entire world. If you love her faithfully, God will be present to you and not leave you alone as you journey through life with her. Cassandra, I met you only a few years ago, but in that time I've come to know a woman who loves passionately. Dylan is very lucky that your love is directed at him. My first memory of you is from our first Christmas at the cabin. You went out of your way to learn about Puerto Rican food, to talk to as many people as possible, and you immediately became a part of the family. Your love for Dylan was evident in your eager desire to know a part of his world that was new to you. As you go forth with him, you will continue to create your own family together. If you do that with love, know that God will be present in that endeavor as well. God is love, we are told, and where there is love, God is there. Love each other, Dylan and Cassandra, and you will experience a taste of the divine in this life. Love each other and you will survive whatever comes your way, even a cross or a tomb. Love each other and people will walk away from your presence with their faces shining. Love each other in big ways and small, and good times and bad. Love each other every day and God will live in you. So now, I ask you, Cassandra and Dylan, in the presence of God and these witnesses, to declare your intention to enter into marriage with each other. Dylan, do you take Cassandra to be your wife, to cherish in love and in friendship, in sickness and in health, in success and in disappointment, in wealth and poverty, to love her faithfully, today, tomorrow, and for as long as the two of you shall live?
I do.
Cassandra, do you take Dylan to be your husband, to cherish in love and in friendship, in sickness and in health, success, disappointment, in wealth and poverty, to love him faithfully today, tomorrow, and for as long as the two of you shall live?
I do.
That's 2 I do's, everybody. Cassandra and Dylan, this collection of friends and family have just pledged to support you in the commitment you make to one another today. Now, would you face each other, join hands as you're doing, and share your own vows of commitment?
Dylan, is it on? Do you hear me? Dylan, you are my once in a lifetime. Our 6 years of being together have been magical. You are the man and the best friend I always hope for. You make me feel special, beautiful, and appreciated. You always encourage me to follow my dreams, support and motivate me, and inspire me to be a better person. You tolerate my fiery spirit and take my crazy moments in stride and with grace. You are my hero against spiders, and in all other moments of weakness, you are my strength. I want to spend the rest of my life making you feel as whole as you make me feel. I love you.
I know. Cassandra, I remember the first time I looked into your eyes and told you I loved you. The Cougs had just endured one of their worst seasons ever, but redeemed themselves by beating the Huskies in double overtime in the 2008 Apple Cup. I was completely overcome with joy, and I felt comfortable and confident enough to let you know how I felt. The truth is, however, I knew I loved you long before that. Probably a good month or so ago, we were watching Lost on DVD. We were both in agreement that we liked everything about that show except for the smoke monster. After a few episodes, you fell asleep in my arms, and I looked down at you in that moment and I said, out loud, Cassandra, I think I could marry you. Well, there wasn't much to think about. No one loves the way you do. You have the biggest heart, you see the best in others, and you've never tried to change who I am. I'm a better man because of you. And if I live to be 100 years old, I can't imagine a moment that will make me more happy than when you said yes. Marriage is not something I intend to take lightly or expect to be easy. There will be times when your fiery Hungarian temper collides with my stubbornness. But I promise to work towards resolving our fights rather than trying to win them, even if I'm right, which in almost 6 years has yet to be the case. I promise not to delete your soap operas until after you've seen them. I promise not to eat your leftovers until they've been in the fridge for at least 48 hours. After that, they're fair game. I promise to love you unconditionally, in sickness and good health, in youth, and when our hairs turn silver and we can no longer make it up the stairs. I promise to look into your blue eyes with the same love and devotion then as I do now. I promise to be faithful and never waver in my commitment to you. I promise to take care of you and protect you from harm's way. I love you with every fiber of my being, Cassandra, and I pledge my heart and everything I am to you forever.
Do you have rings? Cassandra and Dylan, each of you must make a contribution to the life of the other. These rings are the outward symbols and visible signs of your eternal commitment to love one another through thick and thin. As a circle is a symbol of eternity, these rings are a symbol of eternal love and of your promises to each other on this day. Dylan, I ask you to place the ring on Cassandra's finger and repeat after me. Cassandra, I give you this ring as a sign of my vow.
Cassandra, I give you this ring as a sign of my vow.
To love you and honor you.
To love you and honor you.
Faithfully and eternally.
Faithfully and eternally.
With all that I am and all that I have.
With all that I am and all that I have.
Cassandra, I ask you to place the ring on Dylan's finger and repeat after me. Dylan, I give you this ring as a sign of my vow.
Dylan, I give you this ring as a sign of my vow.
To love you and honor you.
To love you and to honor you.
Faithfully and eternally.
Faithfully and eternally.
With all that I am and all that I have.
With all that I am and all that I have.
Dylan and Cassandra, you have committed yourselves to each other in this joyous and sacred covenant. Walk together. Become one. Fulfill your promises. Laugh daily. Honor and love each other deeply. Now that Cassandra and Dylan have given themselves to each other by solemn vows, with the joining of hands and the giving and receiving of rings, I announce to you, by the power vested in me by our God of love and the state of Washington as a Christian minister, that they are one, in spirit, in joy, in life, and in love, and that they are now married. Those whom God has joined together, let no one tear apart. You may kiss your bride. I present to you Mr. and Mrs. Dylan Wade.